ICE morale is tanking at an all-time low, really, according to The Atlantic, as Trump's public support of ICE simply isn't fixing morale within the agency because agents are being forced to conduct mass deportations of individuals who are not criminals, who don't have criminal convictions, don't have criminal charges on their record, and yet morale in the agency is falling. Meanwhile, Donald Trump gutted NASA and America's spaceflight program overnight. We learned that Kristi Noem, because of a new order in the Department of Homeland Security, delayed sending urban search and rescue teams to Texas, delaying search and rescue efforts. And bombshell new text messages from a whistleblower this morning could sink a nomination of a Trump appointee to the Third Circuit. Here's all the news you missed right now. Before I continue, please consider subscribing to my Substack by clicking the button below to support or send a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. Starting off with ICE, officials are reporting grueling schedules, pre-dawn raids, and emotionally charged arrests targeting non-criminal immigrants as political demands are intensifying under the direction of Stephen Miller. In June, ICE arrested around 30,000 immigrants, the highest monthly total in over 5 years, but deported only 18,000 because ICE is actively arresting individuals who actually can't be deported due to pending asylum claims, etc., causing overcrowding in detention facilities, inhumane conditions. And right now, morale within the agency continues to fall. People are saying it is miserable. They are tasked with an impossible job, quote, mission impossible, a senior official told The Atlantic. Meanwhile, FEMA's response to the deadly Texas floods was delayed by a new policy instituted by Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem that requires her sign-off for any expenditure over $100,000. Urban search and rescue teams cost much more than that, and most FEMA activities cost more than $100,000. And previously, FEMA could just spend the money and conduct the search and rescue, can conduct the recovery activities without sign-off from the head of DHS because of the life and death nature of natural disasters. Well, here, there were major bureaucratic hurdles, and urban search and rescue teams did not come to Texas for 72 hours, 3 days following the deadly flash floods, and investigations may soon ensue on Capitol Hill. Members of Congress are already calling to investigate Secretary Kristi Noem over this incident. Meanwhile, Trump gutted NASA overnight. Trump appointed Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy as the interim administrator of NASA. In addition, 2,145 senior employees, including many that deal with human spaceflight programs, have been fired, raising concerns about diminished U.S. space leadership and competitiveness against China. Let's talk about these whistleblower texts. New whistleblower text released this morning by CBS News reveal that Trump judicial nominee Emile Beauvais, who was Trump's former personal attorney, urged lawyers within the Department of Justice to defy a lawful court order to return a wrongfully deported man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Messages showed officials mocking the ruling, trying to link Abrego Garcia to MS-13, even though they didn't have the evidence. After backing Trump's sweeping legislative package, Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri is now opposed to Medicaid reimbursement limits. He wants to roll back parts of the bill that he just voted for. Trump is drawing major criticism after praising Liberian president's English-speaking skills, despite English being Liberia's official language, prompting backlash from Liberians who view the comment as condescending, though both the White House and Liberia's government defended the exchange as well-intentioned and rooted in misunderstanding. Trump announced a steep 50% tariff on Brazil. Why? Because of treatment of former President Bolsonaro in Brazil, who is currently indicted there and facing criminal charges for inciting an insurrection. Former CIA Director John Brennan and former FBI Director James Comey are both under criminal investigation, although it's unclear for what. 6 Secret Service agents were suspended without pay following last year's assassination attempt on Trump. Trump is pushing Republicans to bypass Democrats and reclaim $9.4 billion in approved spending, risking a government funding standoff and a potential shutdown later this year. Some good news today. Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman, who was shot in his home last month in a politically targeted assassination attempt, has been released from the hospital and is now recovering in a rehabilitation facility. Thailand's Beloved baby pygmy hippo, Mudang, celebrated her first birthday today. After falling from a 2-story window and losing consciousness, a 68-year-old was saved by Jellybean, a magpie she once rescued before, who tapped her awake just in time for her to call for help. To celebrate their 20th anniversary, a Kansas farmer planted a mile-long wheat field message reading, Jesse plus Sarah, 20 years, using 2 wheat varieties and 65 million seeds. And finally, in a rare, uplifting whale story from Iceland, about 60 pilot whales stranded on a beach were successfully rescued by locals and emergency crews working together to return the disoriented pod. That's all the news right now. If you want to support my work, subscribe today to my Substack by clicking the button below or send a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas, and I'll see you this evening.